Chapter 2406, Captured. Lu Ming's entire body was shrouded in a blood-colored mist. He turned into a stream of light and pounced toward the two foreign celestial thearchs. Along the way, the bodies of some of the other alien races exploded. The two foreign celestial thearchs' expressions changed drastically. They did not hope to achieve anything, but they hoped that they would not make any mistakes. The two of them joined forces to defend with all their might. However, they were still hit by Lu Ming with one move and spat out mouthfuls of blood. They almost died. Retreat. The Titan longhorn beetle's voice resounded through the sky. Its horns were like scimitars as it slashed at its opponent. You want to save people with your severely injured bodies? Don't even think about leaving today. The non-human king let out a roar. His entire body was covered in purple light, and his battle power was incomparably powerful. He fought an intense battle with the Titan longhorn beetle. If the Titan longhorn beetle was at its peak during the ancient times, he wouldn't be its opponent at all. However, in the battle of the ancient times, the Titan longhorn beetle had been seriously injured and had yet to recover. He had no fear at all. Buzz! The Titan longhorn beetle roared. Its roar shook the heavens and the void collapsed. Its power was terrifying. In the distance, Earth 1 and Thunder 1 were still fighting with an unparalleled expert of the foreign tribe. However, at this moment, the roar of the Titan longhorn beetle came rushing over. The unparalleled expert's expression changed as he tried his best to block it and retreated a few steps. With that, Earth 1 and Thunder 1 finally found an opportunity to escape. They retreated 10,000 miles and came to Lu Ming's side. "Young master, let's go." Earth 1 roared. "Let's go." At this moment, Lu Ming was affected by the Titan longhorn beetle and managed to regain a trace of clarity. He also understood the current situation and that it was better to leave. Buzz! 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 They quickly retreated. "Stay." At this moment, a loud shout came from the sky. Then the sky cracked open and a huge purple hand stretched out from the sky. It covered the sky and the sun. It was extremely huge and it grabbed at Lu Ming, Tui and Lei. The pressure was so strong that it was terrifying. It was the most powerful expert that Lu Ming had encountered so far. How is that possible? Lu Ming's pupils contracted rapidly. The other party didn't attack through that passage but directly broke through the void. If the enemy was in the evil god world, they could actually break through the void and attack. This kind of strength was just too terrifying, not good. "Heavenly Emperor at the peak of the Heavenly Emperor realm, retreat," Dandan shouted. However, there was no way to retreat in the face of this huge palm. "Young master, leave quickly." Earth 1 roared and then burst out with all his strength. He pushed the meteor hammer to the extreme and blasted it toward the large hand. At the same time, Lei activated the Heaven Dao soldier with all his might and attacked the hand. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with cold killing intent. His body was covered with bone spikes, making him look extremely ferocious. He also attacked the big hand. The three of them joined forces and their power reached the extreme. They bombarded the giant purple hand. Boom, boom, boom. 3 earth-shaking explosions occurred in a row, and the air waves whistled like mountains and seas. The 2 Heaven Dao soldiers trembled violently before flying back. Earth 1 and Thunder 1 were jolted back by the force and were sent flying tens of thousands of miles. Lu Ming's body trembled violently as well. He spat out a large mouthful of blood and his body flew backward. However, just as his body was about to fly backward, the huge purple hand burst out with an extremely powerful suction force. It sucked Lu Ming in and flew towards the huge purple hand. Not good. The Titan longhorn beetle and the tall and thin man named 9 Lives wanted to help, but they were held back by 2 foreign tribe royal family members. Buzz! Lu Ming flew directly to the palm of the big hand. Lu Ming burst out in a frenzy and attacked with all his might, but it was useless. The big hand was firm and immortal, and its strength was extremely strong. He could not break it at all. The next moment, the big hand clenched and grabbed Lu Ming. At this moment, a terrifying and boundless energy gushed into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming's body trembled, and the last bit of consciousness he had turned blurry and he lost consciousness. After the big hand grabbed Lu Ming, it shrank back. "Young master." Earth 1 and Thunder 1 roared and wanted to save him. "Don't be rash. The person who attacked is a peak Heavenly Emperor. Although he attacked from a great distance and his power is greatly reduced, Lu Ming has already been captured by him. We can't save him with our strength. Retreat first." The Titanos roared. The aura on his body became stronger and stronger. He suddenly roared and forced his opponent to retreat. "Titan, take them away first. They'll block the foreign tribe," the tall and thin middle-aged man said. The aura on his body became stronger and stronger, and his attacking power became more and more astonishing. He actually managed to block the two non-human royal families. With a heavily injured body, he can barely unleash an outburst. He can forget about recovering to his peak in his entire life. A non-human king roared. However, the two of them were blocked by the tall and thin man. The Titan Longhorn Beetle's huge body rushed towards Dandan and the others. But even the first non-human expert couldn't block his roar. His body trembled and he retreated. The bodies of the two ordinary foreign heavenly emperors exploded, and their bodies and souls were destroyed. A large number of non-humans below the heavenly emperor level died. The Titan Longhorn Beetle's huge body came to Dandan and the other's side. A wave of power rolled them up and rushed toward Earth One and Thunder One. Brother Lu Ming. Pow Pow cried out, her eyes staring straight ahead. At this moment, the big hand that was grabbing Lu Ming had already retracted and disappeared in the space of eternal nothingness. Oh. The Titan Longhorn Beetle also sighed inwardly. It wasn't that he didn't want to save her, but that he couldn't. The other party was too strong. He was in existence at the peak of the Heavenly Emperor realm, a true peak expert. If he was at his peak, he could compete with the other party. Unfortunately, he had been seriously injured in the ancient battle and had not recovered yet. His strength had been greatly reduced and he was not the other party's opponent at all. Let's go, inform the Heaven Realm experts and send people to guard this place. The Titan Longhorn Beetle activated another wave of power and swept up Earth One and Thunder One, flying into the distance at top speed. Damn it! The two non-human kings roared and attacked crazily, trying to kill the tall and thin man. However, the tall and thin man's strength was above the Titan Longhorn Beetle's. At this moment he didn't care about his injuries and erupted with a shocking attack, forcing back the two people in one fell swoop. His figure flickered, shattering the void and disappearing. The two non-human kings' faces were extremely dark. The rest of you retreat to our realm first. When the passage is fully opened, attack here. The Heaven Realm and the Primordial Realm will fall into the hands of our race sooner or later. A non-human king shouted and then turned around. Not long after, Dandan, Bubbles, 2E Lei, the Titan Longhorn Beetle, and the tall and thin man gathered on a mountain peak in the Yuan continent. Titan 9 lives this time, many thanks for your rescue. Dandan sighed. I also accidentally discovered the abnormality here, so I asked the Titan to come with me. I didn't expect to encounter this scene. The tall, thin man sighed. This tall and thin man was the 9 lives devilish silkworm, one of the top 10 battle beasts. Brother Lu Ming, will he be alright? Bubble was extremely worried. I don't think so. Lu Ming's bloodline has an astonishing origin. Judging from the conversation just now, the other party wouldn't kill Lu Ming. Dandan said. During the previous battle, the other party had shouted not to kill Lu Ming and would kill everyone else without mercy. This made Dandan think of many things. I hope so. Earth One and Thunder One sighed. Let's go back to the Heaven Realm and spread the news. Dandan said. Then everyone's figures flashed and they left the place. Chapter 2407, Evil God World, Awakens. In an ancient secret chamber in the Evil God Realm, Lu Ming lay in the middle of the room, his entire body shrouded in a thick blood aura and killing intent. There were more than 10 figures standing around Lu Ming. More than half of these figures were purple-haired non-human royalty. The few people who were at the entrance of the passage earlier were all here. The other alien races also had powerful auras and were terrifying. These were the top experts of the Evil God tribe. Even the weakest of them had a cultivation base of 4-star Heavenly Emperor or above. At that moment, more than a dozen of the foreign kinds were staring at Lu Ming with burning eyes. It's really the sacred ancestor Bloodheart. I didn't expect that the sacred ancestor Bloodheart didn't die in the battle that year. She left behind her natal bloodline and was reborn in the body of a human. This is really unexpected. An old man sighed. This old man was also a member of the royal family, but he was very old. His face was full of wrinkles and his purple hair had lost its luster. Aha, the heavens are really blessing our race. Saint Ancestor Bloodheart is still alive, and our race will definitely be able to level the heavenly realm, break the realm and open the sky, achieving supreme glory. That's right. When the time comes, it'll be as easy as turning over a hand to flatten the heaven realm. Ancestral Dragon, don't even think about stopping our tribe. The other non-humans were all excited and laughed. They were waiting for the sacred ancestor Bloodheart to wake up. However, at this moment their expressions changed drastically. This was because Lu Ming's body was emitting another kind of radiance. But Lu Ming's body trembled and a stone tablet appeared, growing rapidly. The stone tablet kept shaking and emitted layers of black light that surged toward Lu Ming's body. That's right, this steel was the prison-guarding steel. The light emitted by the prison-suppressing steel gushed into Lu Ming's body and emitted a terrifying suppressive force, suppressing the blood-red light of the third bloodline. Kill, kill, kill. The blood-red radiance roared continuously, as if it wanted to destroy Lu Ming and replace him. However, the prison-suppressing steel glowed brightly and its suppressing power was extremely strong. It kept suppressing the blood-red chi. The blood-red aura emitted by the third bloodline was suppressed by the prison-suppressing steel's power. It slowly wriggled and retracted back into Lu Ming's body. The blood aura in Lu Ming's body slowly became thinner. More than a dozen outsiders were dumbfounded. The prison-guarding steel. It's the prison-guarding steel. Damn it. Why is the prison-guarding steel in this man's body? Damn it. I understand now. The prison-suppressing steel is also his bloodline. It's specially used to suppress the Saint Ancestor Bloodheart. What a powerful scheme. Damn it, let's take this prison-suppressing steel out. Not bad. A dozen foreign kinds shouted. Boom, boom, boom. 3 outsiders attacked at the same time. Their cultivation bases were shockingly powerful, and each of them was a 5-star Celestial Emperor and a 6-star Celestial Emperor. The 3 of them attacked. Their powers formed a sealing force that enveloped the prison-suppressing steel, trying to separate it from Lu Ming's body. Bus, bus, bus. The prison-suppressing steel shook violently, and Lu Ming's body shook slightly. Strip. The 3 of them roared and exploded with their full power. However, at this moment, the prison-suppressing steel suddenly trembled and shone brightly. A terrifying power spread out from the prison-suppressing steel, as if it could suppress the heavens. Bang, bang, bang. The 3 foreign kinds' powerful beings trembled as if they had suffered a terrible attack. They retreated and spat out a mouthful of blood, their faces pale. No wonder it's the prison-guarding steel. That person's natal weapon is extraordinary. Even if it's not complete, the power it contains is still shocking. Let's attack together. A dignified non-human royal family member said. All right, let's attack together. The others nodded. Immediately, a terrifying aura was emitted from the bodies of the dozen foreign kinds. The weakest among them was a 4-star Great Emperor, and the strongest was a Peak Heavenly Emperor. A dozen of them together could sweep across the world. At the same time, more than a dozen people attacked together. More than a dozen rays of light turned into a sealing force, trying to seal the prison-suppressing steel and then strip it out. Bus, whoosh. The prison-suppressing steel started to shake crazily. Then it began to grow in size and a terrifying power burst out from it. The strength of this force was actually above that of more than a dozen foreign races. Bus. In the end, the prison-suppressing steel suddenly shook, and an even more terrifying power spread out, directly destroying the sealing power of more than a dozen foreign tribes. Moreover, more than a dozen foreign people were shaken by the power of the prison-guarding steel and kept retreating. A few of the weaker ones hit the wall of the secret room, their faces pale and blood oozing from their mouths. More than a dozen foreign kinds had unsightly expressions. With their strength, they could not do anything to the prison-suppressing steel. Damn it, the power of the prison-guarding steel is too strong. Not to mention us, even an unrivaled master would not be able to extract it unless it was someone of the same level. An old man said with an ugly expression. The other people's faces were a little gloomy. Where could they find people of the same level? Could it be that they had to ask the old ancestor to make a move? However, the old ancestor had been seriously injured in the battle back then and had been in a deep sleep. How could he make a move now? What do we do? Someone asked. There's only one way to strip the prison-suppressing steel, and that's to make this kid do it willingly. As long as he cooperates, it'll be easy to strip the prison-suppressing steel, and Saint Ancestor Bloodheart will wake up. The dignified non-human royal clan member said. This kid will cooperate? The others didn't quite believe it. There's no other way. We can only wait for him to wake up. The dignified royal said. With no other choice, everyone could only wait. The prison-suppressing steel hovered above Lu Ming. Its radiance grew brighter and brighter, forming waves of suppressive force that surged into Lu Ming's body. The blood-colored mist on Lu Ming's body slowly faded. Lu Ming's consciousness had fallen into darkness. He seemed to be floating in the darkness. He had no concept of time and did not know how long he had been floating. After an unknown period of time, a beam of light shot through the darkness. Lu Ming dashed toward the beam of light. Boom. Lu Ming felt a shock in his head and his consciousness recovered in an instant. What happened? That's right, we discovered that the alien races were trying to open the passage. We went to stop them and a terrifying battle occurred. I've been borrowing the power of the third bloodline like crazy. There's also the Titan Longhorn. I've been caught. Lu Ming muttered. Everything appeared in his mind. Dandan, Bubbles, Earth One, Thunder One, and the rest, how are they? With the Titan Longhorn and the others around, it should be fine, right? Lu Ming was worried and he opened his eyes abruptly. What came into view was a secret room. In the secret room, there were pieces of luminous stones inlaid, which illuminated the secret room as if it was daytime. A purple-haired middle-aged man with a square face and an imposing manner looked at Lu Ming with his hands behind his back. There was no one else other than him. You're finally awake. You're Lu Ming, right? The dignified middle-aged man spoke. Even his voice was filled with dignity. Who are you? Wait, you're from a different race. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed as he saw a third eye in between the other party's eyebrows. The royal family of the alien race. A thought flashed across Lu Ming's mind. Chapter 2408, Hard or Soft Won't Work. I am Mo Luojia, the realm-breaking general of the evil god realm. The dignified middle-aged man said. Breaking the general, breaking my heaven realm? Lu Ming sneered. Moroja's eyes were calm and he didn't say anything. Is this the evil god world? You were the one who caught me, right? Lu Ming said. He sensed carefully and found that this place was indeed different from the heaven realm and the primordial realm. The space here was filled with a strange energy that was very different from the original chi of the heaven realm and the primordial realm. But Lu Ming's eyes suddenly lit up. He realized that the laws of heaven and earth here were exactly the same as those in the heaven realm and the primordial realm. He had originally thought that the evil god tribe in the heaven realm and the primordial realm were two different worlds, and the laws of heaven and earth would be completely different. He had not expected that they would be exactly the same. That's strange. Lu Ming was surprised, but this was a good thing for him. That's right, one was the one who caught you, said Wuxia. He stared at Lu Ming and continued, now one need your cooperation. One cooperate? Lu Ming's lips curled into a mocking smile. Tell me. Cooperate with me and let me take the prison-suppressing steel out of your body, Wuxia said. You know I have the prison-guarding steel? Lu Ming's gaze flickered. From the beginning to the end, he had never used the prison-suppressing steel. How did the other party know? Was the other party's cultivation so strong that he could see through him, or did something happen while he was unconscious? Wait, how did one wake up? I've been borrowing the power of the third bloodline like crazy, and my consciousness has been devoured by the endless killing intent of the third bloodline. I'm about to turn into a killing puppet. How did I wake up? It's impossible for him to have saved me. Could it be the prison-suppressing steel? Lu Ming suddenly recalled that when he first obtained a drop of ancestral dragon blood, it had triggered the third bloodline to go berserk. However, it was the prison-suppressing steel that had suppressed the third bloodline. Could it be that the prison-suppressing steel had saved him again? Did the prison-suppressing steel suppress the power of the third bloodline so he could wake up? It was highly possible. That was why he knew he had the prison-guarding steel. What exactly is the third bloodline? Wait a minute, Sacred Ancestor Bloodheart. During the previous battle, the other party shouted at Sacred Ancestor Bloodheart. Could he be referring to the third bloodline? What is the third bloodline? What did it have to do with the alien races? Does he want me to be devoured by the third bloodline by taking away the prison-suppressing steel? At this moment, many thoughts flashed through Lu Ming's mind. He was so smart that he had managed to guess the situation correctly based on some scattered clues. It seems that if one don't cooperate, you can't take away the prison-suppressing steel. The smile at the corners of Lu Ming's mouth grew wider. Moroja did not answer directly. Instead, he said coldly, you just need to cooperate. Haha, I took the initiative to cooperate. I'm afraid that after the prison-guarding steel is stripped away, it will also be the time of my death. I'm not that stupid. Lu Ming laughed heartily. You're not worthy, so you'll only die. Wuxia said coldly. Oh really? Then you can kill me now. Lu Ming said. You, a cold glint flashed in Moroja's eyes. He did not expect Lu Ming to be so difficult to deal with at such a young age. If they could kill Lu Ming, they would have done so long ago. However, after killing Lu Ming, the Sacred Ancestor Bloodheart would not be able to wake up. Tell me, why do you want to take away the prison-suppressing steel? Who is the Saint Elder Bloodheart? What's the relationship between this and my third bloodline? Lu Ming stared at the other party and asked a few questions in succession. Since he had fallen into the hands of the foreign races, he was willing to risk his life. At most he would die. You shouldn't be asking these questions. Moroja's eyes were cold. He stared at Lu Ming and said, "It seems that you don't agree? Even if I agree, I'm afraid I'll still die. Without the prison-suppressing steel, it'll be devoured by the endless killing intent. Instead of turning into a killing puppet, it's better for you to kill me directly." Lu Ming smiled faintly and did not care. "If you agree, I can guarantee that you won't die. One can even extract your soul and find you a suitable body for you to reincarnate," Wuxia said. "I appreciate your good intentions." Lu Ming smiled faintly. To extract his soul and exchange it for a new body? What a joke. He might as well kill him. Moreover, he was sure that the alien race was so eager to take away the prison-suppressing steel and let the third bloodline devour him. There must be a conspiracy. Saint Ancestor Bloodheart, could it be that my third bloodline was reborn in my body by a terrifying alien expert who wanted to use my body to revive? But my second bloodline is the prison-guarding steel, which can suppress my third bloodline. Lu Ming's imagination ran wild. If that was the case, it was even more impossible for him to agree. Otherwise, the heaven realm and the primordial realm would probably suffer. "Don't think that we can't do anything if you don't agree." Luojia waved his sleeves and left with a cold face. The door of the secret chamber was closed, leaving Lu Ming alone. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He walked to the side of the secret room and observed the walls. The walls of the secret room were made of an unknown material, and there were many mysterious runes drawn on them. Lu Ming shook his head. He understood that since the other party was so assured to lock him up here, it was probably wishful thinking for him to break out of this secret chamber and escape. Since him here 111 take things as they are. Since the nomological laws here are the same as those in the heaven realm and the primordial realm, one can still cultivate. Moreover, the other party didn't kill me in this situation. If they do, it'll even be disadvantageous to their so-called sacred ancestor Bloodheart. At the thought of this, Lu Ming felt much more at ease. As long as he didn't die, he would have a chance. Lu Ming sat cross-legged and adjusted himself to his best condition. One hand he began to comprehend the law of karma. Now, out of the 10 ultimate maxims, Lu Ming only had not successfully comprehended the law of karma and the law of fate. After Luojia walked out of the secret room, he came to a large hall. In the hall, more than a dozen non-human experts were waiting. "Great General, how is it? Did that kid agree to it?" An old man asked. "That kid is young, but he's extremely shrewd. I'm afraid he's already guessed a lot. He won't agree at all. He won't be swayed by force or persuasion." Moroja frowned. "You won't be affected by force or persuasion. That brat is courting death. I'll go and kill him." A burly foreign being was furious, but he swallowed his words halfway and smiled awkwardly. If he killed Lu Ming, how would the sacred ancestor Bloodheart awaken? "Great General, what should we do now?" someone asked. "Imprison that kid here. Well, study him and see if we can find a way to extract the prison-suppressing steel from him. At the same time, send a message to the other royal families and ask them to think of a way," Wuxia said. "All right, we can only do this. I don't believe that we can't remove a broken prison-suppressing steel." The other alien races nodded and left. Chapter 2409. 800 years have passed. Lu Ming stayed in the secret room and focused on cultivation. Usually no one came to disturb him and it was quiet. Cultivation knew no time. Time flew by and in the blink of an eye 2 years had passed. Lu Ming's control over the law of karma was getting deeper and deeper. At that moment, Moroja came to look for Lu Ming for the first time. This time he brought more than 10 people with him. They were all experts with extremely high cultivation. They used a special array in an attempt to extract the prison-suppressing steel from Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming did not resist, but he did not cooperate and let the other party cast it. Unfortunately, the other party still failed in the end and could not do anything to the prison-suppressing steel. "Brat, are you going to cooperate or not? If you don't, it'll make you die without a burial place." A burly alien roared, his killing intent incomparably ferocious. "If you want to kill, then kill, why waste your breath?" Lu Ming said indifferently. "You," the alien almost vomited blood in anger. If it were not for the Bloodheart Saint Ancestor, he would have slapped Lu Ming into a pulp. In the end, these foreign kinds had no choice but to leave. Lu Ming continued to cultivate. The effects of cultivating here were naturally not as good as on the Void Island. However, as time passed, Lu Ming's control over the various laws became deeper and deeper. In the blink of an eye, another 3 years had passed. Lu Ming had been locked up here for 5 years. In the past 5 years, apart from comprehending the laws, Lu Ming had been studying the divine abilities that were constructed from different laws. As for the seven gods' mysterious technique, Lu Ming would also take some time to cultivate it. However, without the help of a top-grade treasure, it would take a long time to practice the seven gods' mysterious technique. Lu Ming was not in a hurry. He would slowly polish it. As long as he cultivated to his limits, he would naturally break through. After 5 years, Lu Ming had finally cultivated the law of karma to the 3rd level. Then Lu Ming began to comprehend the law of fate. The laws of fate were extremely difficult to comprehend unless one was born with a body of fate. Lu Ming spent a full year before he managed to gain a basic understanding of the law of fate. However, after getting started, every step was extremely difficult to improve. However, the law of fate was indeed very wondrous. It was said to be able to control the fate of all living beings. After Lu Ming had cultivated the law of fate to the beginner level and fused it with the other top 10 laws, he had a feeling that he seemed to have fused with this world. He could vaguely sense the existence of the heavenly Tao. Lu Ming was very intoxicated by this feeling. He was even more focused on cultivating. However, his comprehension of the law of fate was too slow. In the meantime, Lu Ming also comprehended some other king path laws. He comprehended several king paths and the laws of fate together. Naturally, Lu Ming's speed of comprehending the king path laws was shockingly fast. It would not take long for him to cultivate to the 3rd realm. As for the laws of fate, they were rising at a constant rate. Spring and autumn came and time passed by quickly year after year. In the beginning, the alien race would try to extract the prison defending monument every few years. However, after failing 5 to 6 times in a row, the alien race seemed to have lost their patience and locked Lu Ming up in a secret chamber. It had been a long time since they last came. Just like that, Lu Ming spent 100 years in the secret chamber. Yes, 100 years. Ever since Lu Ming embarked on the path of cultivation, he had only cultivated for a few decades before he was captured and brought to the other world. However, this time he had been imprisoned for 100 years. To a martial emperor realm expert, 100 years' time was just like the snap of a finger. Lu Ming had been cultivating wholeheartedly for the past 100 years. He did not feel bored at all. In the past 100 years, Lu Ming's cultivation level had not increased. However, his control of the law had reached a shocking level. The laws of fate had also been cultivated to the 3rd level by him. In addition, he had mastered more than 70 king path laws. In total, Lu Ming had mastered a total of 81 types of king path laws and ultimate laws. Moreover, he had cultivated them to the 3rd realm. The moment these laws fused and exploded, their power was extremely powerful. Lu Ming felt that he could easily kill a 4-star great emperor, or even a 5-star great emperor with the power of law alone, without using his physical strength. One had to know that he was only a true emperor. It was unbelievable that a true emperor could easily kill a great emperor. I wonder what level my combat power will reach once I break through to the great emperor realm? Lu Ming could not help but look forward to it. The others controlled an ultimate law in addition to 8 other king path laws. After breaking through to great emperor, they would control the strongest great Tao. As for him, he had mastered 10 supreme laws and 71 king path laws. Once he broke through to the great emperor realm, what kind of great path would he have? Now, I don't need to control more laws. My goal is to master all these laws and make them perfect. Then, I can break through to the great emperor realm. Lu Ming pondered. The laws he controlled were simply too many. It was difficult to truly achieve a smooth integration, and it would take some time. For the past 100 years, his 7 gods mysterious technique was still at the middle of the 5th stage. However, his foundation was already extremely solid and he had reached his limit. He believed that he would be able to break through soon. As soon as he reached the late stage of the 5th level of the 7 gods mysterious art, he would be able to suppress other peak emperors with his physical strength alone. With the power of laws, great emperors were invincible. If he were to make a breakthrough in the later nomological systems, his strength would skyrocket to an unimaginable level. At the same time, a group of demonic humans was discussing something in a large hall. Among them was Maragia and a few others. However, among these people, Mo Luogia's status was not the highest. There were a few people whose status was even higher than Mo Luogia's, and they were all extremely terrifying existences. The matter that these people were discussing was about Lu Ming. It's already been 100 years and that kid is still not cooperating? At the very top, there was a middle-aged man who was extremely handsome and wore a crown. This person was the king of a foreign race. My king, that brat knows that we don't dare to kill him, so he won't agree no matter what. Luogia bowed and said. The king nodded. He didn't agree because he still has hope. Hope for the heaven realm. He hopes that one day someone from the heaven realm will come here to save him. Someone from the heaven realm came to save him. In his dreams, our race will flatten the heaven realm sooner or later. An alien expert said. However, our tribe hasn't raised the heaven realm yet. He naturally has hope. Now we can only make him feel despair. Only when he is in despair and we give him hope will he agree. The non-human king said. My king, what should we do? Moroja asked. Let him out and let him feel the strength of our clan. Let him clearly understand that the heaven realm is not our clan's opponent. Then he will naturally despair. Then give him hope, find him a good body, let his soul possess it and give him some benefits. Agree to some conditions and he will naturally agree. The non-human king said, appearing very confident. The king is wise. He'll do it right away. Wuxia and the others bowed. Chapter 24:10 Outlander 10 Royal Families. At this point, the foreign tribes had no other choice. As for Lu Ming, he could not kill him and he could not extract the prison-suppressing steel. He could only extract the prison-suppressing steel if Lu Ming was willing to cooperate. How could he make Lu Ming volunteer? That was to make Lu Ming feel despair and let him see the terrifying strength of the alien races. He wanted to let Lu Ming understand that the heaven realm was no match for the alien races and that the heaven realm was destined to be destroyed by them. Lu Ming could not change the outcome even if he did not agree. Then he would give Lu Ming hope, a way out for him, resources and his family. Only then would Lu Ming yield and agree to the alien race's conditions. Let him move freely in Arjia, but send an expert to follow him in case he gets killed by others. The non-human king instructed. This was the evil god world and if a human were to walk on the streets he would really be killed. Yes. Moroga and the others bowed and accepted the order. All right, let's do that. The non-human king instructed before leaving. On this day, Lu Ming was cultivating when the door of the secret chamber opened again. Wuxia and an old man walked in. Here it comes again. In my opinion, you don't have to waste your time. You can't take away the prison-suppressing steel. Lu Ming sneered. I'm not here today to take away the prison-suppressing steel. I'm here to let you out. Wuxia said. Let me out. Lu Ming was stunned. He was quite surprised. He didn't expect that the other party would let him out. That's right, you can go to my realm but you can only stay in my realm. If you want to go back to the heaven realm, stop daydreaming. Let's go. After saying that, Wuxia turned around and left. What are these alien races up to? Lu Ming was very puzzled. However, it was better to leave this place than stay in this secret chamber for the rest of his life. There was nothing to think about. Lu Ming followed Moroja and left. Lu Ming's eyes flickered as he walked out of the secret room and came to a platform. Because the scenery that entered his eyes was truly magnificent. This secret room should be located at an extremely high position. From where they stood, they were high up in the clouds and had a wide field of view, allowing them to see into the distance. What came into view was a large number of buildings. These buildings were very strange, completely different from the buildings in the heaven realm. They looked more barbaric, more majestic and very magnificent. Such buildings were endless and could not be forgotten. There was a huge city here, even bigger than the ancient city in the heaven realm. In the city there were people constantly flashing. All of them were alien races. There were black-scaled alien races with burly bodies, purple-scaled alien races, four-armed alien races with short bodies, and also alien races that looked like shadows. There were too many. These alien races did not conceal their auras. One after another, terrifying auras soared into the sky. Lu Ming could clearly sense them. So many experts, Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. With just a casual sense, Lu Ming realized that there were a shocking number of experts among these alien races. A large group of them were all at the martial emperor realm. There were also a large number of true emperors. There were even many great emperors. There were too many powerhouses. This is the royal city of my tribe. Moroja explained. The capital? No wonder. Lu Ming's heart stirred. The capital was usually a place where experts gathered. It was normal for there to be many experts. However, this is only one of the royal cities of my race. Moroja then added. One of the royal families? What do you mean? Lu Ming asked instinctively. There are a total of 10 royal clans in the evil god tribe. Naturally, we have 10 royal cities. This is one of the royal cities of our tribe. I might as well tell you that only 3 of the 10 royal clans have been attacking the heaven realm all these years. That's not all. Wuxia said. What? This time Lu Ming was really shocked. There were actually 10 royal clans in the alien race, and only 3 of them had attacked the heaven realm in the past few years. This meant that there were 7 other royal families that hadn't attacked the alien races. The 3 royal families attacking the Heaven Realm had already forced the Heaven Realm into a disadvantageous position. If the 10 royal families all attacked the Heaven Realm, wouldn't the Heaven Realm be unable to resist? This was beyond Lu Ming's expectations. At this moment he was really anxious. Seeing Lu Ming's expression, Moroga smiled. This was what he wanted to see. Shocked despair. Now you know the strength of my clan. If the Heaven Realm wants to fight with my clan, it's like an egg hitting a stone. Wuxia laughed coldly. How could this be? No, the Heaven Realm must still have some hidden power. Otherwise, it would have been destroyed by the alien races. Yes, it's definitely not that simple. There must be some hidden story. Otherwise, the alien races wouldn't have dragged on for so many years without destroying the Heaven Realm. Many thoughts flashed through Lu Ming's mind as he tried to calm himself down. A moment later, Lu Ming heaved a long sigh of relief and his eyes calmed down. This kid, Wuxia was shocked. Lu Ming's mental fortitude was beyond his expectations. He calmed down so quickly after hearing that the alien race was so powerful. Let's see how you're going to remain calm when you see the true strength of my clan. Wuxia snorted in his heart and ordered, Jai, from now on, he will follow him. Do you understand? Yes, great general. The old man beside Moroga bowed. Bus. Moroga took a step forward and disappeared. Since we're already here, let's take a good look around. If we can learn more about the secrets of the alien races, it will be helpful when we return to the Heaven Realm in the future. At the thought of this, Lu Ming leaped off the platform and flew down. Jai was not far behind Lu Ming. After jumping off the platform, Lu Ming walked toward a street. The alien race's buildings were ancient and tall. Each building was hundreds of meters tall and the streets were wide. Lu Ming swaggered around the streets. On the other hand, the alien races on the street were stunned. Their eyes widened to the size of copper bells as they stared at Lu Ming. This person isn't from my clan? He looks like a human. Yes, a human. A human actually dares to stroll around our king city. What's going on? The non-humans on the streets were all discussing. Furthermore, this piece of news spread like a whirlwind. In a short while, this area was surrounded by all kinds of alien races. Hey, move aside, move aside. You're blocking the way. Do you have any manners? Lu Ming was very arrogant. He berated her directly. Nest, this human is so arrogant. A human dares to berate us in our king city. He's courting death. A short-tempered non-human kind being shouted, showing his cold killing intent. However, at the sight of Jai who was following Lu Ming, they shivered in fear. Jai's aura was too terrifying. Chapter 24:11, Meeting Tian Luo again? It was obvious that Jai was an extremely terrifying existence among the alien races. Because of Jai's presence, no one dared to attack Lu Ming. However, many of the alien races were very curious about Lu Ming's background. How could a human swagger into a capital city of the alien race with an expert following him? Move, Lu Ming shouted and continued to stroll around. However, more and more alien races gathered around him, and there was no lack of heavenly emperor-level existences. Kid, it's you. Suddenly, a voice filled with disbelief was heard. In front, the crowd made way for a group of people. The one in the lead had purple hair that danced in the wind. He was a member of a foreign royal family and was very young. It's him, the prince of the foreign tribe. Lu Ming's heart stirred. Back in the Two-World City, when the foreign races attacked the city, they sent their younger generation to challenge the Heaven Realm in an attempt to demoralize the Heaven Realm. At that time there was a powerful alien prince. Unfortunately, Lu Ming captured him and exchanged him for 2 chaos gems. The man in front of him was the prince, Tian Luo. Behind Tian Luo there were a few other figures. Some were from the royal alien races while others were from other races. All of them had powerful auras. Greetings, 8th Prince. All around, many of the foreign races bowed in respect. There were many different races in the alien race and all of them had the same bloodline. However, the royal family of the alien race was the race with the closest bloodline to their ancestor. Therefore, the royal family had the highest status among the many races. As for Tian Luo, as a prince, he was a king among kings. His status was much higher than that of ordinary royal families. The normal alien races would naturally be respectful. Tian Luo did not care about the others. His eyes were fixed on Lu Ming. Kid, why are you here? Tian Luo one's face was gloomy as he asked in a cold voice. Why am I here? You should ask your ancestors this question. Do you think I want to stay here? Lu Ming pursed his lips. Kid, mind your words. Tian Luo scolded and then looked at Jia Yi. Senior, could it be that you're here to ensure his safety? Tian Luo asked. Yes. Jia Yi nodded. He'll only protect his life. I won't care about any injuries. Oh. Tian Luo's eyes lit up. Even though he was curious as to why Jia Yi would protect a human's life, he only protected his life and didn't care about anything else, so it was easy to handle. He wanted Lu Ming to suffer a fate worse than death. Tian Luo's eyes flashed with a cold light. Back then he was taken hostage by Lu Ming in exchange for 100 chaos gems. He had been brooding over this and had been looking for an opportunity to take revenge. Who would have thought that the opportunity would be presented right in front of him? How could he let it go? Bang! Tian Luo stepped forward. His purple hair was flying in the wind, and his body was covered in a purple light. As the third eye on his forehead opened, a cold light flashed. Kid, come out and fight. Tian Luo said in a cold voice. Many people in the surroundings became excited. Tian Luo was one of the top geniuses of the evil god tribe. Back then he was ranked 9th among the younger generation of the evil god world. In the vast evil god tribe, Tian Luo was ranked 9th, which showed his talent. Although Tian Luo could no longer be considered a member of the younger generation at his current age, he was still a young man. The 8th prince is about to make his move. It seems that this human has a grudge with the 8th prince. How many moves do you think the 8th prince can take him down? No more than 10 moves. It might be an instant kill. You must know that the 8th prince now has the battle strength of a rank 18 true emperor. The surrounding alien races were all discussing. A level 18 true emperor? The corners of Lu Ming's lips curled up slightly with a faint disdain. I'd better find someone stronger. You're not my match, Lu Ming said indifferently. His words made the cold light in Tian Luo's eyes shine even more. Brat, you're talking big. I'd like to see how much you've improved over the years. With that, Tian Luo took a step forward. His body was like a purple stream of light as he rushed toward Lu Ming. Boom. Tian Luo struck out with his palm. Purple light filled his palm and turned into a terrifying palm print, blasting toward Lu Ming. The alien races cultivated a system that was very similar to the Heaven Realm's ancient system. Their actions might seem simple, but their every move was extremely powerful. Peak True Emperor, rank 18 True Emperor. The corners of Lu Ming's mouth twitched slightly. For martial sovereigns, each seclusion could last for thousands or tens of thousands of years. Tian Luo's speed of advancing from a stage 9 True Emperor to a stage 18 True Emperor in just over 100 years was already very fast and shocking. Unfortunately, he had encountered Lu Ming. Lu Ming could not be measured by common sense. Lu Ming did not use his physical strength. His body glowed with the radiance of various laws. In an instant, there were more than 10 kinds of radiances on his body that were intertwined. Whoosh! Lu Ming simply pointed his finger. With the augmentation of more than 10 types of laws, Lu Ming's simple finger attack became extremely powerful. Lu Ming's fingers were like long spears, piercing Tian Luo's palm. There was no earth-shattering sound, nor was there any scene of wanton force. The collision between the two was very quiet. It was as if a needle had pierced a balloon. With a poof, blood splattered everywhere. Tian Luo's palm print and his palm were directly pierced by Lu Ming's finger. The destructive force surged toward Tian Luo. Tian Luo let out a blood-curdling screech as his body flew backward and crashed heavily onto the ground. His body twitched and he spat out a mouthful of blood. The entire place was silent. Tian Luo, the prince of the alien race, was actually defeated by Lu Ming in one move. He was killed in seconds. How was this possible? More than 100 years ago, Tian Luo was ranked 9th among the younger generation in the entire evil god world. He was extremely talented. Although he was no longer in the younger generation, his combat strength had undoubtedly become stronger. However, he was defeated by Lu Ming in one move. This made everyone stunned as if they found it difficult to accept. How is that possible? Tian Luo couldn't accept it and roared in his heart. All these years he had been working hard and his cultivation had improved very quickly. He was already at the peak of the True Emperor realm and had the battle power of a rank 18 True Emperor. He would be able to break through to the Great Emperor realm soon. He was confident that he could reach the Great Emperor realm before he was 200 years old. Great emperors who were younger than 1,000 years old were already very impressive, let alone great emperors who were younger than 200 years old. He was already stunning enough, but he was still killed by Lu Ming in one move. Back then he had fought many rounds with Lu Ming before Lu Ming defeated him. Initially he thought that he was strong enough to defeat Lu Ming and take revenge. He never expected this to be the result. Could it be that Lu Ming had already broken through to the Great Emperor realm? Many people couldn't help but think so. Only a great emperor could defeat Tian Luo so easily, right? However, Lu Ming's aura was clearly only at the true emperor realm. This puzzled many people. Chapter 24:11 Longevity Roll. Kid, you're quite strong. Let me fight you. Just as everyone was speculating, a voice was heard. Then the crowd saw a burly figure step out. This figure was more than 2 meters tall and was covered in purple scales. He had come with Tian Luo. Budwa, it's Buduo. Bu Duo is about to make his move. Altha Buduo's talent is not as high as the 8th prince's, and he has been cultivating for 1,000 years. He has already broken through to the Great Emperor realm not long ago. He should be able to suppress that kid. Many people were excited to see this figure. Buduo, don't show mercy. Attack with all your strength. Kill him. He'll take responsibility if anything happens. Tian Luo roared, his face incomparably malevolent. He could not wait to cut Lu Ming into 8 pieces. Buduo's body was tall and sturdy, and his 3 eyes flickered with cold light. He took a step forward and the ground trembled. A pitch-black iron rod appeared in his hand. With a slight shake of the iron rod, a pitch-black hole appeared in the space. It was extremely horrifying. On the side, many people retreated. A great emperor's attack was no small matter. Some of the weaker cultivators didn't want to be involved. Lu Ming looked at Bu Duo with a calm expression. A 1-star great emperor, he really did not take it to heart. Make your move. Lu Ming said calmly. Brat, die. Bu Duo's eyes revealed a trace of ferocity. He exploded with all his strength and leaped. Then he looked down from high above and smashed his staff at Lu Ming with the force of Mount Tai. The power of this rod was shocking. If it was a true emperor, he would definitely not be able to block it and would be smashed into meat paste. At the side, Jia Yi's eyes flickered, but he did not make a move. Lu Ming had the bloodline of the sacred ancestor Bloodheart. He would not die so easily. Boom, boom, boom. The metal rod struck down with a dull thud. In an instant it was close to Lu Ming's head. Just when everyone thought that Lu Ming's head was going to explode, Lu Ming stretched out his hand and grabbed. Bang! There was a dull roar. The black metal rod was caught by Lu Ming. Then the metal rod was fixed in the air, not moving at all. Buduo was the same. He held the iron rod in his hands and was also frozen in the air. The seemingly powerful stick attack was blocked by Lu Ming with one hand. So this is your strength, it's just SOSO. Lu Ming said calmly. He exerted force in his palm and shook it suddenly. Buzz. The iron rod trembled violently, and a terrifying force followed the iron rod and blasted toward Bu Duo. Bu Duo let out a blood-curdling screech, and his body flew out like a cannonball, following in Tian Luo's footsteps. He crashed heavily onto the ground and spat out a large mouthful of blood. The scene fell into dead silence again. One move, another move. Budwa, who had already reached the Great Emperor realm, was defeated. He could not fight back at all in the hands of Lu Ming. How could Lu Ming be so powerful? Was this the strength of the human race? The human race was actually this strong? Many people from the foreign races were shocked. In their minds, the human race and the divine beasts of the heaven realm couldn't even withstand a single blow. Their evil god race was the supreme existence. But now, a human youth had defeated several of their experts in a row. This person looks young, but he might have already cultivated for countless years. That's why he's so strong. That's right, it must be like this. Following that, many other alien races spoke up and thought that Lu Ming was an old monster. It was normal for an old monster who had cultivated for countless years to have such strength. You really know how to deceive yourself. Lu Ming sneered, his face filled with disdain. What did you just say? Haven't you been cultivating for many years? Then tell me, how many years have you been cultivating until now? Someone asked loudly. Alright, I'll tell you then. I, Lu Ming, have cultivated for less than 200 years. Lu Ming's voice was heard by everyone. What? Less than 200 years, how is that possible? He defeated the great Emperor Bu Duo in less than 200 years. Impossible. How could the human race have such a powerful heaven's favorite? He must be lying to deliberately attack us. Many of the alien races roared in disbelief. In less than 200 years, there were only a few in the entire evil god tribe who could defeat Bu Duo, who had reached the 1-star Great Emperor realm. That's why I said you're lying to yourself. I believe you have a way to determine the age. If you don't believe me, then find someone to do it. Lu Ming said. The alien fell silent. Seeing how confident Lu Ming was, he did not seem to be lying. He had probably cultivated for less than 200 years. The human race actually had such a heaven's favorite. Is there anyone else who wants to come out and fight? Today I'd like to see what kind of tricks your clan has. Lu Ming's voice could be heard from afar. There was silence at the scene. Everyone looked at each other, but for a moment, no one made a move. Lu Ming had cultivated for less than 200 years. There were only a few people in the entire evil god realm who could fight with Lu Ming at this age. There was not a single one present. As for those who had cultivated for tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, or even longer, it would be a little embarrassing for them to come out and fight Lu Ming. Aren't there many experts in the evil god tribe? To think that there's actually no one who can fight me. Alright, I'll give you all a chance. Anyone who has cultivated for less than 10,000 years can come and fight me. I'll accept all of you, Lu Ming said loudly. Lu Ming, you said it yourself. Don 11, go back on your word. Tian Luo shouted. Of course. Lu Ming responded. Good. My clan has a longevity roll. On it are 100 top experts who have cultivated for less than 10,000 years. Any one of them can crush you. Just you wait, I'll go find them now. Tian Luo teased. He must teach Lu Ming a lesson today. The longevity roll. 100 experts who have cultivated for less than 10,000 years. Interesting. Go and find them. Find a few more. I'll wait here. Lu Ming said with a relaxed expression. Not only was he not nervous, but he was also looking forward to it. For the martial emperor realm, if one had cultivated for less than 10,000 years, it could be said to be a golden period. It was the time for one's cultivation to explode. It also represented the future. The concept was similar to that of the prodigies of the younger generation. Lu Ming also wanted to see how strong the strongest group of experts in the evil god tribe who had cultivated for less than 10,000 years were. Lu Ming crossed his arms and waited quietly. More and more foreign races gathered around. How many years had it been since a human had challenged them in their capital? They also wanted to see what kind of strength this human, who had cultivated for less than 200 years, had. A few figures stood in the sky, but no one noticed them. These people were the king of the outsiders, General Wuxia, and a few other powerful beings. As expected of the person chosen by the saint ancestor Bloodheart. He's extraordinary, the non-human king said. Previously they did not know that Lu Ming had such powerful abilities. Chapter 24:13, Another, the king of the alien race, Wuxia, and the others had no idea that Lu Ming was so powerful. Back then, at the entrance of the passage in the heaven realm, Lu Ming had burst out with shocking strength and killed many alien races. However, at that time Lu Ming had borrowed the power of his third bloodline. The king of the non-human race and the others thought that Lu Ming was so powerful because of the power of the sacred ancestor Bloodheart. They did not know how strong Lu Ming was himself. At this moment, they were a little surprised to see Lu Ming displaying his abilities. This kid has extraordinary talent. I'm afraid it won't be easy to subdue him and make him despair. That's right. This kind of person is definitely an overwhelming prodigy in the heaven realm. This kind of person is usually arrogant, supercilious, and extremely confident. It's difficult to make such a person submit to despair. The other powerhouses also chimed in. This was indeed beyond their expectations. Their original plan was that if Lu Ming was just an ordinary prodigy, he would definitely be taught a lesson when he walked the evil god realm. By then, a few powerful paragons would be able to suppress Lu Ming. In that case, Lu Ming would easily give in. However, Lu Ming was a rare genius. It would not be easy to make such a person despair. If it really doesn't work out, then it'll take him to the holy mountain. The non-human king said. Great, the king is wise. Countless experts of our world have gathered on the holy mountain, including some of the top-ranked figures on the longevity roll. I believe he'll give in to the countless experts. Not bad. Moroga and the others all smiled. At the mention of the holy mountain, their eyes flashed with respect. Time passed quickly. After 2 hours, a few rays of light broke through the sky from the distance. The next moment, a few figures appeared in the sky. One of them was Tian Luo. There were 2 other people. One of them was also a non-human king, but he had a head of short purple hair. He looked very energetic and young. The other person was a shadow-like alien. He didn't seem to have a physical body. He stood there, but his body was swaying like water. It's Storm and Moping. I didn't expect Storm and Moping to be in the capital. Moping is ranked 98th on the longevity roll. Storm is ranked 76th. Haha, let's see how arrogant that human brat can be this time. Excited discussions could be heard from the surroundings. It was obvious that they were very confident in the so-called storm and Mo Ping. From the discussions of the people around him, Lu Ming knew that the royal with inch-long hair was called Mo Ping. That shadow-like alien race was called Storm, and they were both top experts on the evil god world's longevity roll. This is the kid who wants to challenge everyone on the longevity roll? He's really arrogant. Mo Ping coldly spoke, his eyes flashing with sharpness. Then let's cripple him and make him lie on the ground like a dog, he. Hee. Bao Feng laughed in an ear-piercing voice. His shadow-like body swayed. You first, or should I go first? Mo Ping asked Storm. You do it. In my opinion, you are enough. The ear-piercing sound of the storm rang out again. All right, then I'll take on this kid. Mo Ping stepped forward, and a violent aura emanated from his body. 3-star Great Emperor. Lu Ming's gaze flickered. Mo Ping had cultivated for less than 10,000 years, but he was already a 3-star Great Emperor. And he was only ranked 98th on the longevity roll. Could it be that the 100 people on the longevity roll are all 3-star Great Emperors or above? At this moment, Lu Ming's heart felt heavy. In less than 10,000 years of cultivation, 100 of them had reached the level of 3-star Great Emperor. This was absolutely shocking. There was almost no problem for these people to become heavenly emperors in the future. They could even become peerless powerhouses. The alien races were indeed powerful. No wonder the Heaven Realm had been defeated in the ancient war and could only guard the Taiqing heavenly region. No, I can't be discouraged. No matter how many powerhouses and prodigies the Outlanders have, I'll suppress them all in the future. Lu Ming's eyes shone with a bright light and a strong fighting spirit. I'm invincible. This was Lu Ming's belief and his confidence in himself. No matter how many heaven's favorites or powerhouses you have, I will suppress them all. Kill? Mo Ping shouted coldly. The third eye between his brows emitted a brilliant light. Then combat swords flew out of his eye. There was a total of 18 combat swords. They formed a strange pattern and slashed violently at Lu Ming. What a unique attack. Lu Ming's heart stirred. His opponent had used the destructive light from his third eye to form a sword and then formed a wonderful sword formation. Whoosh, whoosh. The 18 combat swords formed a magical sword formation. Its power increased exponentially, bursting forth with endless sword chi that enveloped Lu Ming. Buzz. Lu Ming's muscles trembled rapidly as he unleashed the 6-feathered divine wings. Lu Ming now controlled too many laws. He had a total of 81 types and 71 types of King Path laws. The 6 types of laws required for the 6-feathered wings were all contained within. Not only the 6-feathered divine wings, but the 18 types of nomological laws of the indestructible ancient scroll were also contained in it. This caused the power of Lu Ming's indestructible ancient scroll to increase explosively. Buzz. Whoosh. Lu Ming's speed was extremely fast. He dodged continuously, avoiding the sword chi attacks. None of the sword aura could hit Lu Ming. Your movement technique is quite fast. Let's see how you dodge it. Mo Ping said coldly. The light in his third eye grew brighter, and the 18 swords became even faster. At the same time he took a step forward and charged at Lu Ming, throwing a palm strike. Boom. A vortex appeared in his palm, and it exuded a shocking power. This force spun wildly, bringing with it a shocking tearing force. It wanted to envelop Lu Ming and tear him into pieces. This power could greatly enhance one's speed and movement technique. When combined with the sword formation formed by the 18 combat swords, it was simply invincible. Lose? Mo Ping coldly shouted, extremely confident. He had been able to rank 98th on the longevity roll and defeat 2 other experts whose cultivation levels were not any lower than his because of this move. I'm too lazy to play with you. At this moment, Lu Ming's indifferent voice was heard. Then Lu Ming struck 19 palms in a row. 18 of the palms landed on the 18 combat swords, and the other palm struck Mo Ping's palm. Bang, bang, bang. Lu Ming's strength was so shocking that the 18 combat swords exploded when he slapped them. When Lu Ming's palm collided with Mo Ping's palm, Mo Ping's body trembled as if he had been electrocuted. His eyeballs almost popped out. Gotcha. The sound of bones breaking rang out. Mo Ping let out a blood-curdling scream as his body was sent flying. Just like Mo Tian Luo and Bu Duo, he crashed heavily onto the ground. Chapter 24:14, Deeply Shocked. As Mo Ping landed on the ground, everyone's heart jumped. He was defeated. Mo Ping was also defeated. He seemed to be unable to withstand a single blow from Lu Ming. This was a peerless expert on the longevity roll, a 3-star great emperor, yet he was easily defeated. Lu Ming, did this human really only cultivate for less than 200 years? Tian Luo's face turned pale. Even Mo Ping was not Lu Ming's match. How was this possible? More than 100 years ago, he had exchanged blows with Lu Ming. At that time, Lu Ming was only slightly stronger than him. However, now Lu Ming was so much stronger than him. He felt that he had suffered a huge blow and his state of mind was somewhat unstable. Interesting. At this moment, the piercing sound of the storm was heard again. Its 3 eyes flickered as it sized Lu Ming up. Your physical strength is very strong. It seems that you mainly cultivate your physical body. Storm Wind said. His body seemed to be weightless as he floated out. You'll know when you try. Lu Ming pursed his lips. Of course I want to try. Feng Feng suddenly moved. His body trembled and he disappeared. Then he suddenly appeared behind Lu Ming. A long and thin sword appeared in his hand and he stabbed Lu Ming's back. However, it was as if Lu Ming had eyes in the back of his head. He struck out with his palm. However, Storm's figure flashed and disappeared without a trace. The next moment, 8 figures suddenly appeared around Lu Ming. The 8 figures were like a storm. He rushed towards Lu Ming, his attacks constantly erupting. All 8 of them are true bodies. Interesting. Lu Ming was very surprised. What the other party had displayed were not doppelgangers, illusions or illusions to confuse people, but 8 real bodies. The 8 true forms had the same cultivation and were extremely powerful. In an instant, Lu Ming struck out 8 palms in a row, blasting 8 figures. Boom. Boom. With 8 loud bangs, the 8 figures of the storm were pushed back by Lu Ming. He's also a 3-star great emperor. Lu Ming's heart stirred. The other party was also a 3-star great emperor, but he had already reached the limit of 3-star great emperor. His attacks were extremely strange and unpredictable, and he was indeed stronger than Mo Ping. Again? The storm's 8 figures retreated and swayed again. This time each of them was split into 2. The 8 figures turned into 16 and attacked Lu Ming. The 16 figures were all true bodies, and their strength was exactly the same. Their strength had not weakened because they had split apart. It's useless no matter how much we split. Lu Ming said coldly. He changed his palm into a fist and punched continuously. Boom. Boom. The terrifying fist force crushed the void and destroyed everything in its path. The storm let out a sharp shriek and retreated frantically. However, it was too late. It was crushed by Lu Ming's fist force and the 18 figures exploded one after another. Everyone was shocked. Could Storm have been killed by Lu Ming? A peerless expert on the longevity roll had fallen? However, at this moment, Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. He realized that his own shadow had suddenly moved. He did not move, but his shadow moved. It was like a sharp sword stabbing toward Lu Ming. This scene happened so quickly that Lu Ming did not even have time to react. The sword pierced Lu Ming's body accurately, but it did not penetrate his body. Lu Ming's defensive power was astonishing. In addition, he had activated the indestructible golden body just now. That terrifying defensive power was not something a 3-star great emperor could break. Lu Ming's shadow twisted rapidly, seemingly filled with shock. Get lost. At this moment, Lu Ming shouted loudly like a thunderclap and stepped on his own shadow. Lu Ming activated many types of laws in this kick. Although the other party's body was strange, it was still restrained by Lu Ming's laws. Boom. The power of this kick was extremely shocking. The ground shook and cracks appeared on the extremely hard floor. A scream was heard and Lu Ming's shadow returned to normal. Storm's figure appeared in the distance. There were cracks on its body and it almost exploded. Naturally, Lu Ming had already shown mercy. Otherwise, the other party would have been dead. A 3-star great emperor, no matter how many tricks he had, Lu Ming could still kill him easily if he used his full strength. Can't even withstand a single blow. Lu Ming said coldly. Damn it, how is this possible? On the side, many of the foreign races roared. They found it hard to accept. The longevity rolls experts had defeated 2 people in a row, and one of them was ranked 76th. The human race actually had such a powerful heaven's favorite, and he had cultivated for less than 200 years. Luckily he was caught. This was the evil god world. No matter how strong he was, he wouldn't be able to cause any trouble. Many alien races consoled themselves like this. I didn't expect this person to be so strong. In the sky, the king of the alien race, Wuxia, and the others were also surprised. Lu Ming's strength had completely exceeded their expectations. It's a good thing that he was chosen by the Bloodheart Saint ancestor. Otherwise he would be a disaster for our clan once he grows up. Wuxia said. Not bad. The others nodded in agreement. Let him go to the holy mountain. The non-human king spoke. Things were out of his expectations. Initially he wanted the alien race to attack Lu Ming and let him experience the powerhouses of the alien race. He wanted to make Lu Ming despair and yield. However, he didn't expect that it was the foreign tribes that were suffering a blow. Lu Ming displayed his might and defeated many powerhouses from the alien races in a row, dealing a heavy blow to many alien races. This made Lu Ming even more confident. This was not what they wanted to see. Yes. Moroga nodded, and then a voice was transmitted. His voice resounded in Tian Luo Ping and Storm's ears. Let him go to the holy mountain. The eyes of Tian Luo and the others lit up. That's right, let Lu Ming go to the holy mountain. There are countless experts there, and there are plenty of people to deal with Lu Ming. Lu Ming, don't be so arrogant. Our tribe has 10 royal famflies and 10 royal cities. This is just one of the 10 royal cities. Besides, most of the powerhouses in our tribe are cultivating in seclusion on the holy mountain. If you have the ability, go to the holy mountain. Tian Luo shouted. That's right. If you have the ability, go to the holy mountain and it'll let you see the strength of my tribe. At that time you'll understand what a strong person is. Ping also called out. That's right, if you have the ability, go to the holy mountain. On the side, the other alien races also started to shout. Holy mountain? Lead the way. Lu Ming said directly. From the looks of it, the holy mountain had a very high status in the hearts of the Outlanders. It was an important place for the Outlanders, as it had gathered a large number of experts. Lu Ming could go and take a look. He wanted to see how many experts the alien races had. If he could escape in the future, he would be more prepared. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you will never be defeated. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.